All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Southern Broadcast Race Network. How's everybody doing today? We should be joined by Miss Weeks in a second and Tony Frey. They are here. Hello, you two. How you two doing?
Good. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Tony?
Oh, not too bad. Pretty decent. Pretty decent.
All right. Well, small field today. It's a road course in the playoffs. Yeah, that's all right though. We got Spencer Dewsbury as of right now leading the pack with a pretty good time, over a second faster than Evan Ludi. Um, what's the strategy tonight? You got one stage, 45 laps, and a chance at the final four on the line.
Well, I think it's going to be stay on the track. That's going to be the strategy. Yeah, there's not a lot of runoff room here. There's a lot of places to make mistakes. Keep your car clean. Don't push it too hard, and have a chance at the end.
All right, Miss Weeks, I have seen you a bunch in the chat over the past. Ooh, I don't know how many weeks we. I mean, we've been doing this since March almost. So the question for you, I
Um,
guess, will be,
yeah.
what do you think that these guys need to do to win, and who do you think has the best shot to win?
Ooh. Um, I think a lot of it is going to be staying on the track and just not over racing the track. I think it's going to take some patience and making sure you're there at the end without losing too much time. We might see some pit strategies come into play if people are having a lot of cautions out there. Who knows? I don't know who my pick is tonight, man. It's been pretty wild this season. As far as wins, we've seen some domination, and then we've seen some other races where people have come out of nowhere and won. So just looking forward to a good, clean race tonight.
All
And
right.
and I think the good part about tonight is we're only going to have one caution. That's going to be the stage break. Otherwise, with these road courses, we'd be under caution all night long. We got a lot of people that are really good road racers in here, and we've got a lot that just that's not what they're good at. So, we're going to see some battles. I think, honestly, I think the big thing here tonight is going to be saving tire. These cars are extremely loose tonight. I was surprised at how loose they are. Who's going to be able to keep those tires on it? And then the pit strategy, like we said before. They will be able to run the first stage without needing to stop, but they will have to stop once somewhere in it from the end of the first stage to the end of the race. So who's going to pit when? Who's going to maximize their tires?
All right.
It's going to be interesting.
It is time for qualifying. Just bear with us for 1 second. SDK sometimes crashes on transitions. We're working on that right now on fixing that. Ooh, there goes Ludi. Gets slammed by the 42. I guess we'll run with Spencer in the qual. I'm gonna restart SDK really quickly. Hopefully that'll solve our issue. So, of the playoff drivers, I guess the one benefit if you are a playoff driver right now is that, well, not a lot of points really that you can lose. So everything should be pretty close when it comes into the final race of the round of 8, right?
In theory, I think this is Spencer's race to win. We've seen him pretty much dominate all the road courses.
Yep.
If he doesn't get caught up in something, it's pretty much going to lock himself into the next round. I feel like it's going to be about not taking yourself out of it is really going to be the key tonight. A lot of drop weeks, so not a lot of points to lose, but finishing in the top 10 will definitely set you up for success next week.
Yep. Yeah, there's only going to be about 12, maybe 13 cars out there tonight. So yeah, definitely not a lot of room to lose points, but anything can happen. Dewsbury has not hit track yet. He's getting off a pit road right now. So let's go on board and see what old Spencer can do. So Tony, when it comes to the road courses, everyone likes setting the car up different. Some people like really high, low brake biases, or same with the steering ratios too. When it comes to that, what do you prefer when you're driving like an Xfinity car?
I don't. I prefer a kind of a mid-range steering ratio, like a 12-1 or 14-1. But these Xfinity cars, just like a lot of the other cars, you really have to be careful on the downshifts. The next gen, you can just hammer the downshifts, not really worry about wheel hop. But here, in these Xfinity cars, ARCA, truck, pretty much all the other ones, it's not the braking that gets you, it's wheel hop. So
yeah, we just saw him wheel hop.
Yeah, you really got to find that sweet spot.
Now, I did notice that you were practicing. What can they make on a tank of fuel?
It's about 20-something laps. I imagine you're probably going to gain a little bit as these tires wear off and your pace slows down. But I do believe that first stage will not be an issue, but there will be at least one green flag pit stop.
Yeah, because we'll probably get back to green at like what, lap 18, and you said you can make it about 20, so yeah, you'd be fine. A little bit of a wiggle there.
Might see some people try to stretch it. Easy to do at a road course, so we may see a little bit of strategy that way as well. But I think the tires are really going to be hard to manage that long while keeping a decent race pace.
Mr. Weeks, I'll ask you this: has any of your AWG guys gotten you in the sim yet?
No, not yet. We've had some talk about it. Tango, our graphics guy, was doing some of the jumpy truck graphics the other day, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks like fun!" And they're like, "Let's do it. Let's get you in there."
Oh yeah, I was doing a jumpy truck in a different league last night. It was a ton of fun. Yeah, the jumpy trucks, they can be a handful, I'll tell you what.
Oh, I bet. Maybe in the future, though, we'll see. I might get in there. We'll see. Right now, I'm letting them handle it. They're doing a great job.
Dewsbury puts down a 17:07. Only person that hit a 17. Second best is McRae at an 18:15.
And that's that 117.0 for Spencer is only 3/10 off his fastest lap in practice. So he pretty much gapped the field. I imagine that we're not going to see anybody really touch that time. I feel like that's a pretty safe pole lap time there.
So getting rid of all the admins, I'm counting here. Nathan Nixon would be 9, Banks would be 10, Schaefer 11, Jason Hastings, he's an Xfinity driver too, isn't he?
Yes.
So it looks like that we're going to have 12 drivers.
Yep, looks like there's 3 admins in the session, so 12 drivers.
I'll tell you, man, watching Spencer go over those curbs is scary.
Spencer's got a lot more car control than pretty much anybody else in the field on these road courses. That whole team really, Greg Rogers on the Cup side, they're good at road courses, man. I don't know how they do it. They can drive in deeper than me on the corners. They can get on the brakes harder and not worry about lockup. They're just maybe someday I'll figure it out, but I'll tell you, they're even a lot of our good road course drivers are not even close to being on the same level as some of those SVR guys.
That should be all for Qual. Yes, we'll go to the national anthem, so we'll be right back on the Southern Broadcast Race Network. Just chat to him. All right, we're back on the Southern Broadcast Race Network. Just waiting for everyone to get in. It looks like, yeah, there's a couple minutes left, and I think someone just hasn't readied up yet. Yeah, it looks like everyone is done qualifying. So let's look ahead really fast. Let's talk about Auto Club. Probably gonna have a bigger field for that.
Oh,
What do
absolutely. Auto Club's the best track on the service.
All right. So let's assume Dewsbury wins, right? Who do you think has it at Auto Club?
Oh man, I feel like there's a handful of guys. Banks, Schaefer, Pointer. They're McRae, Ludi. Take your pick. There's all these guys are fast week in and week out. So Auto Club's one of those tracks where you gotta be smooth, gotta save the tire, but that draft kind of definitely helps keep you up to pace even if you are saving tires. So
And we have this track
Auto,
coming up in Cup Series too. How are you feeling about that in the Cup Series?
no, I love Auto Club. Auto Club is one of my favorites.
What about Charlotte?
Charlotte, I mean, it's a road course. I feel like we're gonna have our normal competitive guys. I feel like I'll probably be a top 10 car, but it's gonna be tough. Same, this is one of those tracks where not a lot of runoff room. You make a mistake, especially through that first chicane. It's definitely gonna be a tough one to keep hitting it repetitively every lap without completely killing the car.
I say we just run the rallycross course. That'd be fun.
There we go.
That sounds horrible, Joe.
I made a setup for an ARCA car on it, and it was really good. Don't knock it until you try it. All right, here we go with the starting lineup. It's going to be Spencer Dewsbury rolling off on pole, Evan Ludi second, McRae third, Bill Moore fourth, Brandon Schaefer fifth, John Pointer sixth, and Jared McCauley seventh. Sam Gordon eighth, Vince Vachon going to be ninth, Brandon Banks 10th, Davey Hendricks not burning up, so that's going to be Nathan Nixon 11th, and Jason Hastings going to be 12th. One pace lap, and then we'll be getting green. Got some nice paint schemes out there.
Judging by where they're gridding, I think this is going to be a short parade lap, and they'll be going green really quick.
No, they'll be doing the full parade lap. They do a full parade lap because they're on the front straightaway. Imagine if they just did a standing start right there.
No, that would be complete chaos.
Right.
Like a land rush at Crandon.
Be like Martin Truex, Jimmy Johnson at Charlotte Roval. I think it was Blaney sneaking through there after they wrecked each other. That's about the same spot too.
Let's see, Isaac. Denny wrecked himself last night. All right. How about that race last night?
It was boring until the end, in my opinion.
Only caution for cause. Literally with 2 laps to go. I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
So Stenhouse and Busher got into it a little bit there at the end, and Austin Dillon snuck his way into the playoffs.
I mean, I say just caution flies within 5 laps to go. End the race right there.
Well, that's boring for the fans. I got to try to make money at this.
I mean, every other series does it. Well, all we know is that we're guaranteed 1 caution, and that's all we'll get. Unless, like, the leaders wreck each other and completely pile up the whole field.
And with that being said, stages at lap 15, it could open that opportunity to short pit before the pits close on lap 13 and cycle yourself to the front. So we may see some differing strategies there as well. They would just have to pit a little earlier under that second stage to come get fuel.
Only negative to that, though, is that you are going to be sacking stage points.
Yeah, for some of these guys that would need a win, that might be a better option for them is for forego the stage points and go for the win. Some of these guys that got a little bit of a points buffer might stay out for the stage points and potentially give up that finishing position for the guaranteed points.
Well, interested to see how the new Roval is going to race.
I feel like it's going to be hard to pass. You're going to have to do it on entry of the corner. It's going to put some people in a bad spot. There's these corners are pretty tight here. You definitely don't want to try passing in the two chicanes. That's just going to be bad news for everybody. So I think you'll see a lot of the passes being made on the infield.
Yep.
Out braking into the corner, forcing that driver to go a little wider. Going to cost them a little bit of time and allow you to sneak through on the bottom line.
All right. Pace car are going to be going through the chicane right now. And yeah, I mean, can't really even pass in this chicane.
If you're brave, you might be able to do it in this car. If you're in the next gen, absolutely not. Because if you miss that exit of that chicane by a couple inches, you're going to launch that car through the air and wreck yourself. So
I think we're going to at least see one person wreck themselves off the turtles.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see somebody. And like I said, this car is really loose here. I was surprised by how loose it is. So I think we may see just some random people lose it, just trying to make a corner. The infield, the car gets very, very loose. And then under braking, like we talked about before, wheel hop.
Spencer immediately to the lead as the green flag flies, and well, Ludi couldn't do anything about it. And I mean, he'd like to probably, just try to get ahead of him. Probably not going to happen though. So Spencer is gonna at least try to run off into the sunset.
Yeah, I feel like there's not going to be much of a battle towards the front, at least through the first stage. It's all going to be pit strategy, maybe coming in early to put Spencer a few cars back.
Ooh.
On the restart.
Vince just got quickly passed by Brennan Banks and Nathan Nixon. Vince falls all the way down to 11th place. Nixon's already up 3 spots in 9th.
So we had Sam Gordon scrape the wall a little bit coming out of the chicane here. Allowed some cars to get to his back bumper.
Into the chicane for the first time.
Oh, a little bump.
Oh, Sam Gordon goes wide, penalty.
Yep, he's going to get a slowdown penalty. Had a little help there from the 33.
And not sure if he served it yet.
Yeah, he was way off the pace. He served it.
Brennan Banks already up to 8th, but Nixon going to challenge again on the bottom. Easy around for Nixon.
I think that's just a little patience by Banks there. I feel
Sam
like Banks
Gordon around.
I feel like Banks could have put up more of a fight there, but it's early. We got the 29 spinning here. Not sure where he's at, but turn 2, 3. Early part of the infield section.
Oh yeah, just snapped, and luckily didn't hit anything. Rolls it around and get back on track.
Yeah, just added some stripes out there of his own.
On the ground, yeah. Oh, Jason Hastings has crashed into the wall, entering the track.
Car doesn't look too bad though.
Looks like
maybe,
just got loose.
Maybe just kiss the wall just a touch.
Yeah, not that bad. Looks fine, so he's lucky. Nathan Nixon up to 5th, highest mover right now. Would love that highest mover point. He's up 5, no one else up more than 3. This is the closest battle on track right now. Banks locks it up going into 3. And Nixon should maybe be able to get around Pointer easy. Pointer lets him by.
Yeah, I feel like that was a.
Whoa. Pointer offline and Banks gets around.
I don't know. Pointer's having issues, or if he was just trying to get out of the way to let these faster guys go by, but definitely cost himself some time.
And you can already kind of start seeing the skill gap of just kind of where everybody is. Everyone just, oh man.
That's those turtles, man. If you miss that line just a little bit.
The way it looks though, I mean, you would think that that would hurt the car, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you
Ooh,
would think. Oh, Banks in the grass going in the final, or Schaefer in the grass going in the final chicane, able to keep it straight, and actually didn't really look like he lost any time. Banks is doing the same.
Hastings around. This is
Yep,
going to
and
be on
now
the entrance. Just slide in a bit and
that's getting back on
whoopsie.
that, back
No
onto the
damage though.
old.
Seems like he's having a issue right now. I think his car is stalling out.
Well, he drove it into the wall after he got it.
yeah.
He's definitely struggling, and that damage on that right front is not going to help matters tonight.
There goes Dewsbury. That will put him 1 lap down. Sam Gordon is out of the race. He's trying to rejoin normally. Hopefully it won't cause any incident, but looks like Schaefer might have to slow down just a little bit. Ooh, there he goes, right on by. McRae diving under Ludy, but Ludy's gonna get him back. Oh, yes he will.
There's a very bad entry to the corner that McCrae took, which kind of gave Ludi the better line on exit, and basically didn't allow him to complete that pass.
Now, how is Jason Hastings scored behind Gordon? That's weird.
That could be SDK saying Gordon is out, and he may not actually be out. Let me take a peek here. Oh, Gordon's out.
Yeah, Hastings on the pits right now, so got 10 laps to go next time by. Pits close with what, 2 to go?
Yep, 2 to go.
McRae trying to run Ludi back down. And he'll have Schaefer on his rear, though. I mean, I would have to think that, you know, the number one goal is probably just going to be what can you do to maybe hold up Dewsbury.
Well, at this point, you're not going to do anything, right?
Is that hope for that caution?
And if Dewsbury gets far enough ahead, he may be able to pit and still come out in the lead.
Yeah.
It's doesn't have it yet, but he's 7 seconds out, 6.5 out, 6 laps in. I mean, there's a possibility that he could actually short pit this, you know, coming to lap 13, and actually still retain the lead, depending on how many cars behind him come with him.
Well, let's take a look here. So our best lap times, we're looking at 18:04, 18:61, 18:46. Wait, now let's see the lap times. I mean, yeah, in about 6 laps, we've fallen off about a good second about.
I don't think they're really falling off. I think Dewsbury's just not pushing that hard. He has no need to.
All these other guys are falling off. Huh?
Yeah, but Dewsbury had at least a second on him in qualifying. So aside from Ludi, he had about a second on Ludi. Now you kind of see that time equal out. So I think Spencer's just saving a little bit, managing the gap. No sense in wrecking yourself out of the race with a 7-second lead.
Right on board for a moment with Brandon Schaefer. A little bit faster through this infield section so far. Looks like McRae really is sliding.
Yeah, I've noticed that quite a bit. Seen them really kick that back end of that car out, burning up those rear tires, and probably going to pay the price by the end of this run.
Oh, yeah, McRae didn't have... Oh, there goes Schaefer almost. Good save.
Good save.
I was going to say, it looked like Schaefer might have been able to get the positions back because he was gaining a little bit. Very aggressive into the chicane.
Oh, yeah.
He's all right back.
He's back there. It looks like he's closing up under braking. Might be giving a little bit up on exit, but...
He gave up a lot on exit there.
These boys really like using those turtles to...
Yeah, I'm surprised with seeing as much of the rear end of the car being loose that they're getting up on those as hard as they are.
Yeah, this car, I imagine it helps you turn. I'm not brave enough to do that because some of these turtles are pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
But
got a battle heating up between Bill Moore and Brandon Banks.
Oh, Banks locks him up.
Did.
And nearly runs over Moore.
Battles back between McRae and Schaefer. Schaefer closed that gap back up, lost a little bit off the corner here, but trying to reel McRae back in.
Bill Moore in the wall. And allows Banks to go right on by. Yeah, overdrove it.
Yeah, came in with just a little bit too much speed and couldn't get that car to rotate.
So, I mean, coming down pit road, I mean, a 4-tire stop, I mean, that's 15 seconds right there. And then down pit road, you got to think, what, you're wasting an hour, 20 seconds down pit road?
You're probably thinking it's going to be about between a 30 to 45 second stop altogether. Unlike the ovals, you're not giving up a whole lot of speed getting onto pit road because you'd already be pretty slow coming off of that last chicane. But just the time down pit road at pit road speed is really the difference.
And with how this stage finishes, I mean, this should be a really good example of what we could expect to see near the end of the race, too.
Yeah, I also think that it might be a little more aggressive after the first stage, right? A lot of patience right now. As we get closer to the end, we're going to see a little less patience, I imagine.
Yeah, you got to imagine, too, though, like, if you screw up in this stage, it's okay, you get a caution. Screw up next stage, well, you got nothing.
Yeah. If you make a mistake, you definitely want to do it on the front side, but if there's somebody that feels like they might be able to compete with Spencer, one of these front runners, and they're getting held up by somebody, that may see them put it in a spot that they normally wouldn't, trying to get that pass completed to get up there and run with them without giving up too much time. So could potentially get a little more interesting after the stage.
Yes, for sure. Matt Forns jumped to the pits. Interesting.
I think he's been in the pits.
Yeah, you should run a few laps, Matt.
Speaking of that, I am going to jump into the car real quick and take a peek at fuel. Yeah, so it's showing me 23.8 sitting on pit road. So we may see some people try to stretch that final stage out.
I mean, I don't think it'd be possible to no stop it, would it?
I think you could try it. I don't think it's gonna work.
You don't think it'd be worth it?
Nah, I think you'd have to give up way too much time on track to make up roughly 5 laps at a long road course like this. I feel like you'd have to really slow your pace down significantly.
So when will pit road close?
As the leader comes to lap 13.
Well, if anyone's in a pit, they'll probably be coming next time by.
I would say anybody but Spencer. So Spencer's going to be that car, right? He's going to be the one that sets that pit road closure. So he can go a lap longer than anybody else just because of the 9.5-second gap he has on second place.
I mean, well, the benefit he has is this: he can see whatever else everyone else does. I don't think it would be in your best interest if you're in the stage points to give up stage points.
Well, we're going to see. I feel like some people are going to risk it. I think we're going to see people try to get out front, slow him down
Well, we'll
to
see.
maybe have a chance later.
Nothing from Ludi or McRae or Schaefer come in. Nope.
No, nobody's coming in right now. It looks like.
Schaefer's trying to get that pass done on McRae.
Go
Wasn't able to get it.
If you're a non-playoff driver, why not pit?
That's kind of the way I'm thinking, right? You're out here for trophies at this point. Why not risk it? What do you got to lose?
Like if I'm like talking to Macaulay or Vachon, I'm telling, hey Vincent, pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
In chat,
I don't think we're gonna have any takers.
In chat, we got Rowdy B18 Gaming. That would be Gib. Saying where are all the cars at? Well, they took a drop week.
Yeah. I guess
Greg's,
we're maybe no more road courses in the playoffs.
I mean, we can't have everything. We always try to cater our playoffs so it doesn't favor any one person.
Fair enough.
Got Donut Gaz, Greg Rogers, McRae is doing a nice job. Yeah, definitely keeping Schaefer honest here.
All right, pit road is closed.
Got Hastings saying, FYI, can't park there. I think he was talking about himself.
Yeah, so with pit road being closed, no one is going to make a pit stop. So, I mean, 4 tires and fuel for everyone, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the rear, maybe pack it with a lap or 2 extra. I mean, if you want, but I don't think it'll really matter too much. The only battle really that we're seeing on track right now would be McRae and Schaefer battling for that final podium spot.
They've been battling pretty much this whole first 13 laps, and Schaefer's been putting it on him, just not able to make the pass work.
He's come close a couple of times, but yeah, just hasn't gotten it to stick.
Yeah, it seems like where he's gaining on him is under braking into the chicanes, and it just can't seem to get the pass completed there.
Well, down the back stretch they go.
Oh, little mistake from McRae there through that first chicane. Really put Schaefer on his back bumper, going to carry more momentum through the corner.
Yeah, he did the right thing, though. He blocked the inside, didn't let him get by. A little bit of a lockup from Schaefer. Knocks him out of the way. Ooh.
Schaefer's going to give him the spot back. Didn't like the way he raced him there. Unfortunately, it looks like McRae got a yield penalty, but Schaefer's going to let him keep his spot here.
Yeah, he
That,
knocked him out of bounds.
yep, that's class, right? He made a mistake, cost the driver. He wasn't going to take the spot like that. Fell back in line, let him do his yield penalty, and maintain his position.
Well, Nixon, don't think has enough speed, but Nixon's made his way to the top 5. Should be able to see Dewsbury taking the flag in a minute. A little bit of a rev from the 77, a little bit more from Dewsbury, and he'll get the stage. Dewsbury going to be the stage 1 winner.
And with the typically the caution is thrown. Yeah, he hit that turtle, and that kind of upset the car.
He did. And it really upset the car
It's
there for a
after the
moment.
8th place car crosses the line, yes?
And we may I don't know if the admins are planning on throwing that a little early, just because it's 7th place, but that's 30 some seconds back, right?
You gotta wait.
So they may throw it a little early. It won't affect the scoring at all if they do.
Well, here goes Banks across the line. Macaulay crosses right now. No caution yet.
There they are. They got the caution out.
So they're going to do a lap around because they do have to wait for pit road to open.
And that's one of the complaints that a lot of people have with iRacing is we are not able to slow down the pace car. And as stretched out as these road courses, get with the varying skill levels in this league, we really wish we could slow the pace car down so people weren't pushing just to get caught up and going into pits late compared to the leader.
Granted, though, they have plenty of time. I mean, they are far back, though.
Yeah, wave around cars makes it even harder, right? You gotta go out there, race your way around just to get caught back up to the pace car. In this case, truck. It's one of those things that I really wish iRacing would implement, so we could knock this pace speed down just a little bit, give everybody a chance
speed
to
it
get
up
caught
on
up.
certain tracks.
Exactly.
I think the speed limit on like iRacing Super is like 90.
Yeah, but that's a 240 mile an hour course, so 90 is not a big deal.
I suppose.
Even we ran in our fun series on Sundays, we ran the COT cars where you're 240 by yourself. We ran the Xfinity cars there where you're 220, 230 by yourself, 240 in the draft. So not really a 90 mile an hour pace speed is not a big deal at that track.
I think the slowest pit road speed is like 20. Only one of the dirt tracks. I think Vince should be able to. Oh yeah, Vince will make it.
All right. Well, while we have a minute, let's talk about our race sponsor tonight, Miss Weeks. You sponsored this race, representing an organization that I assume you have a very strong view on. If you'd like to share that.
Sure, yeah, 100%. So tonight's race is for Extra Life. Extra Life is a children's Miracle Network hospital charity organization, which I have been a part of for 9 years. This will be my 8th year running an actual team, but just my 2nd year of running a team with Ancient World Gaming. And what I love about this organization so much is that not only are all the proceeds 100% go to the hospital, but you can pick your hospital. And so it works awesome for a team like us that has people in different states, in different areas, who can still contribute to our overall goal, but can also contribute to their local community. So, for instance, myself and a few members here in the North Carolina area, we raise money for Duke's Children's Hospital. Unfortunately, I have a relationship with Duke's Children's Hospital. I have a son who was born with some medical conditions that required some care and had a lot of hospital time when he was younger. And so it is very close to my heart to help these families, provide support, be able to do events for kids at the hospital, Christmas presents, different things like that, because it's super hard, not just on the kids, but on the families as well. And I love that we have the opportunity to make a difference and again be able to support each other, but it support our own local communities. We did this last year. We had people donating money for Duke's. We had people raising money for their local hospital in Pennsylvania. So we were able to have multiple AWG members participate in this. And so if you look in the chat, there is our link if you want to sign up. If you have any questions about signing up, just let me know. It's really easy to do. You don't have to stream as long as you have social media and can share your link out there with your friends, families, neighbors, whoever. They can make a 100% tax donation. To your charity, to your hospital that you choose. And again, it just helps our overall goal. So just bringing some awareness to that. Again, it is personal to me. November, they have a 24-hour gaming thon that I've been doing again for the last 9 years. But we are also, as an organization, going to be working on plans currently to do an actual charity race where we are going to put on a race for proceeds to go to everybody's local hospital. So more details to come on that.
And with that
Oh,
being said, all of our viewers out there, stay tuned to the Discord. We will have some information at some point for that. We've always been a league that supports different organizations, charity, just helping each other out. So check that out. We'll be posting as we get all that information, and I hope to see some contributions made.
Appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I'm super excited. This will be our first year doing that as an org, and if it goes well, we might have extra life charity race events at different tracks. Maybe once a quarter for year. We'll see.
all right. Well, talking about spoilers now, Vince Vachon going to be in the lead.
Yeah, we saw a little issue coming off pit road. Brandon Schaefer had a little issue, not a huge deal.
I'm
Not sure
surprised
what
that they
happened there.
didn't give the position to McRae, though. Um, now, yeah, I don't know if I. Okay, so if I'm McRae, right? McRae did beat Ludi out, but somehow it gave the position to Ludi, right?
Yeah, I think you got to look at where that pit road exit
Oh,
line
oh,
is.
oh. McRae had him beat. But now the question is, would you rather be behind Vince or would you rather be behind Spencer?
Well, my question is how did Vince get up there? Was it a 2-tire stop?
He didn't stop at
Yeah.
all.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna try to one stop this from here. I think McRae got the benefit there by not starting behind the 36. I think Spencer's going to have the advantage here and have the speed and not hold him up. It's probably a disadvantage to Evan Ludi right now, starting behind a guy on older tires.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Vince will fire off. I mean, I think he should fire off just fine. I mean, he's a good racer, races in real life. Um, I think Vince should be able to do a good job. I think yeah, I'll send that to one of our friends. They'll like to see that 36 up in front.
So you got to think here. If he stayed out, he's trying to one, leapfrog for some track position. He's probably only going to stay out about 5 laps or so, maybe a little longer before he has to pit on fuel, which should put him in a window just to do that single pit stop where I imagine everybody else is probably going to have to stop one more time under green.
Yep.
Might be a race-winning move.
I'll tell you, man, I've been pulling for Vachon ever since season 2. And I'd love to see him win a race. He's probably not going to do it today, but nice to see him throw something different out there in strategy.
I like it. You know, Spencer's the class of the field speed-wise. What are you going to do differently to put yourself in a position to potentially win this? And I mean, it may work, it may not. What's he got to lose?
All right, well, the Canadians will lead him down to the green flag.
We're going to see who's got some patience here and who does not, because you got to think that 36 car is going to hold up the field just a little bit.
And he's going to go to, when it suits him, probably where he'll get straightened out. Oh, yeah, bad restart. Ooh, Woody! Is that a penalty?
We're going to have to see.
Woody going to put it 3 wide. Vince going to get shuffled out.
Oh.
Yeah. No black flags, so he must have launched.
Now, I want to know, in the Relentless book, because I know we do penalize sometimes when they pull out a line like that. Did that look like something that could be a penalty?
I did not see anything there. The only thing that would be questionable would be, did the 36 launch before Spencer, which I think he did.
Oh, no, I was talking about Evan Ludy.
I didn't see anything. Like, there's avoidance versus, well, let me go back and look.
Because, I mean, it would be borderline, in my opinion. Like, I don't personally like the rule. I think that you should be able to, go on the inside whenever you want, as long as you don't pass the guy. But I think he spins him out if he doesn't.
Exactly. So, no, I don't believe that will be a penalty. I feel like, the 36 was slow. He either wrecks him or he goes low. He didn't pass him before the start-finish line. It was more about conserving both their cars. So I don't believe that would be.
Well, I got to see where Nathan Nixon managed to make this pass. So Nathan Nixon manages to take care of all the chaos and just throws it all the way to second.
Yeah, I think just had the 28 got a little slideways there, so I think that helped his cause there as well.
Yeah, Schaefer getting real loose too.
Schaefer's been hanging that tire out in the grass a little bit, and we kind of saw the same thing at Road America earlier this season.
Be careful.
And it was he just pushed it a little too far, got into the gravel and spun it out. So I'm seeing him and Banks doing that a lot, coming into the final chicane, hanging that left rear tire in the grass. It's worked so far, but I don't know how long.
All right, down the back straightaway.
Notice in chat, Cedric saying Banks.
McRae! Oh, he just threw it away. He's all the way back to 6th.
To go back and see what happened to Banks.
Oh, yeah, something did happen to Banks. He crashed, apparently. Looks like it may have been the first time through the chicane. He blew the chicane and right in the tire barrier.
Oh yeah, that's a night ender. He blew his engine. I'm pretty confident.
I'll be honest. That tire barrier does not belong there. That's a real bad place for a tire barrier. Because this is like the oldest version of the Roval, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Because I remember when they first started doing the Roval, that's why they got rid of that tire barrier and changed up the chicane. Because I know this is the old chicane from like when they did it, like back when they first did it. Because the way it is now, or at least the way that they did it the last few years, is it's a much more sharp chicane now. You have to slow way, way down compared to what you had to.
It's similar to the final chicane. This layout kind of changes it up. That first chicane's a little more high speed, makes it a little interesting, and versus the final chicane, which is very very slow.
Yep.
But that first chicane, if you miss your line a little bit, that's all it takes is it launches the car off the turtles, and it doesn't seem like it's as bad as the next gen car where it pretty much wrecks your car instantly. But it's still pretty bad.
All right, let's take a look at the chat roll fast. What do we have here? Foreign Star said avoiding Iraq. Shut up, Joe. Okay. Cedric Broso, Woody jumped the start there. Matt subscribed at Tier 1 for 17 months on a 14-month streak. How about that? Matt says this is scary. Farmer Bilk says we need more road in RRL. I'd say we do a good amount. What else do we have here? Cedric Banks wrecked out. Yep. He ate the tire wall. Matt said he's going to do that on Wednesday. And then, yeah. Matt, I'm just going to be honest. When I saw that wreck on pit road, I felt for you, man. It's so sad to see.
Cue the barrel comments.
It's not really a barrel. It's more like a wall.
Chat's letting me down. Matt's got a history of barrels and whatnot.
He's a barrel magnet, huh?
Yeah. Bristol is not his friend when it comes to barrels.
Good track, though. Now, you can give him all the crap you want about barrels, but, he can come back and say, yeah, well, I'm a cup champion.
Yeah, he's got that over a lot of us.
Oh, Schaefer might wreck here. I just lost my mouse.
Just your neighborhood barrel boy.
Oh, yeah, he did take a big jump there.
But kept the car going.
Yeah, he's just really been on those coming out of that chicane there, and it just, I don't know, the car gets right off the ground, it just gets loose. I'm just waiting for him to lose it there, but he's held on to it.
Macaulay down pit lane and has just left, was in there for a while, and over a minute, so
I think
one lap
something
down.
happened to him. I saw him slow on the apron through the oval portion of the track. I assume something happened.
Surprised that Vince has not hit. I don't think he's pit yet. Yeah, no, he's not pit yet, so. I mean, at this point,
He's got a couple more laps before he has to pit, but he could definitely pit and still stay on the lead lap. I just don't know if he's going to close the ground. Yeah. Opportune time to come down pit road.
Yep, Nixon and Schaefer getting a little bit closer. The 333 between all these guys.
Not gonna lie, I wish the next gen car could handle the turtles the way these Xfinity cars can.
On board with Brandon Schaefer.
That's for the third position.
I think Sean Pointer may have wrecked somewhere. Oh, he gains a lot of time here.
Tough exit,
Inside
though.
is Schaefer. Now, Nixon, yeah, he's not going to have the run. He's going to draft back on him, though. I don't think he tries to pass him. He'll probably try to pass him in the next corner. Maybe pressure him just a little bit. Yeah, he's letting off way early. Whoa, boy.
Yeah, trying to get a better exit, I think.
Yeah, he just hurt himself, though, by a lot. He's going to be at least a second back now. Ooh, bad entrance for Schaefer, maybe.
That's that entrance he's been using all night, sticking that left rear in the grass, and it's been working.
A little bit slow. We smoking in the booth, Tony?
Mind your business, Joe. Ask anybody in RRL. When I'm in a Discord channel, they hear that big flick a lot.
Ah. It was like a classic racer. You know, they used to do that a lot back in the day.
I feel like that's my generation of racer, driving around in a car. Granted, it's a simulated car, but got the camel in my mouth.
Yeah.
Driving 200 miles an hour.
Now some of these newer generation, they're just doing. They're either holding the beer bottle or holding the joint.
Whoa.
Am I right or am I right?
No, you're right.
That may be something that some of the younger generations like to do, but some of us are not able to do anything like that due to military obligations.
They don't allow that in the military, huh?
Mm-mm.
Interesting. I mean, fair enough, though. Vince is out of pit road, by the way, so Evan Ludy's going to look to lap himself, Vince.
Vince able to stay in the lead lap by a good 20 seconds or so. 30 seconds, so no threat of going a lap down. See how all this plays out in the long run.
So yeah, looking here at the stint length. So we've ran about probably 7-8 laps on the fuel. So Vince took a 25. So I think we can make it about 21, 22 on fuel.
Yeah, and if Vince is able to keep a good pace, he may cycle out to the lead here.
No, absolutely not.
You don't think so?
He was like 20-something seconds back.
Last time by, he was 48 seconds off the leader. I'm not sure what it's going to take to get down pit road, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 40 to 45 seconds in and out of pit road, maybe a little longer.
Well, if you look here, Dewsbury just crossed the line. Vince is heading into turn 1, so.
Yeah, now he's a minute 16, but.
Much as I like Vince, I don't think anything's going to happen.
We'll see what kind of time you can gain on these fresh tires.
Good looking paint scheme, though.
If he doesn't loop it that one time, that not even close. This gap gone. He probably gave up 20, 30 seconds in that time frame.
Sean Pointer down pit road. Ooh, Sean Pointer is hurting right now, it looks like. Yeah, Sean Pointer must have been down pit road for damage. I didn't see it, but yeah, he's coming out with a damaged car.
Yeah,
not good for your guy there, Weeks.
No. He's had a tough night tonight. Hasn't really been his night.
On the bright side for him, though, the gap is not going to be that big.
Yeah, not enough cars for it to hurt too bad.
Vincent is going to let Dewsbury by. I think he may have blew the chicane. Oh, yeah, he did.
I was going to say, if he just let him by for no reason, that's probably not a great strategy, but definitely had a yield there. I would be curious to see where he's going to cycle out, though, once everybody else pits.
According to Kevin Stein, Dewsbury is going for the road sweep this season.
Yeah, he's been the class of the field at every road course we've been on in the Xfinity series, so definitely would not surprise me.
And Schaefer is down pit road and out of the race.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I'm thinking it has something to do with this. Ooh.
Yep.
I
Hey, hit
told you.
that turtle.
I told you that. Well, he's getting loose already before he even hits
Yep.
that turtle. He didn't even
He
hit the
launched
turtle.
it. No,
Mm-hmm.
bouncing
Oh
around
yeah.
in the wall.
I told you someone would get caught out by that thing tonight, and it was Schaefer.
But
Yeah.
that's definitely going to shake up the points a little bit, though. Um, like you said, Sean not having a great night, but he's going to pass Banks and Schaefer. It's a 7-point gap from our leader down to 8th place. So definitely some points to be gained here to minimize that damage with Pointer being a lap down. And one of our playoff drivers took a drop week, so that's going to elevate Pointer. You got to think at least 3 positions in the standings.
Okay, test, test, test. You guys hear me?
Yep, you're there.
You're here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Something happened where it just disconnected my speaker and my mic, and then it froze the race for a good like couple seconds, and I don't know what happened there. That was
Technical
strange.
difficulties. Let's move on. Spencer down pit road, gonna fuel and I imagine 4 tires.
Yeah, Spencer is down pit road. Connor, I remember my first stream. You know, Connor, you got to get you in the booth sometime, bud.
It's gonna cycle that lead out to Evan Ludi. He's gonna get a bonus point for leading a lap here.
Yes, he will. So Spencer is gonna spend 45 seconds on pit road. So we'll come out with the lead for sure. And from the looks of it, everyone else will not be in danger of falling to Vince whenever he decides to come down pit road. Just have to be careful on those cold tires. He is moving quite fast and should be running down Ludi and all these other guys pretty quickly. Hopefully more will not get in his way. Ludi down pit road. And Nixon will lead a lap. And Dewsbury really doesn't need to be charging too hard. I mean, he has
Work
the
up and
race
down.
won pretty much.
Well, and I believe they're on the same team anyways, so I think your trading paints is off. I don't think that's his car.
Um,
Greg, can you confirm?
I don't know. I've had trading paints on the whole time,
I
but
don't think that's the paint scheme.
we'll refresh it and
Could
see
be
what
wrong.
happens. Well, we'll hit Control R. We'll see what happens. Oh, there we go.
That looks better.
Yeah, that looks right now. Like, wait a minute.
All right, Bill Moore coming off the pit road. He's going to be still about 25 seconds ahead of Vince. If I'm McRae, I'm hoping that Nixon will come down so I can lead a lap at least. Nixon down
I
pit road, really easy in the pit road.
feel like they got some wiggle room here where they can stay out a little longer if they choose to get that bonus point.
McRae will get the bonus point, so helpful to him. Dewsbury now going to be 6 seconds off the lead. I think Nixon is going to get passed by Ludi easily. I mean, he did have a pretty slow entrance in the pit road. But we will see. Nixon is here. Ludi will pass right there. He's still on pit road, so... Oh yeah, he's going to be way off of Ludi. Nice pit road, though.
29 hit his pit box.
Ooh, a little wide, though. A little wide. You said who is hitting the pit box? McCauley?
Jared McCauley, 29.
He entered the pits again for some reason and is out, so I'm thinking that he may have had a
He had a
problem
lot
with that.
of damage on that left front, I believe it was.
Not terrible, though. But it
It
looks
was
like he's going to
pretty
be...
bad.
As of now, he's out of the race. So that'll
James
help.
McRae coming down.
That'll help Pointer at least get back, hopefully, in our spot for him. And McRae down pit road.
He's going to hand the lead back over to Spencer Dewsbury.
He might be able to. No, he's not going to beat Nixon out. I don't think. No, he's not going to do that.
No. So that will put all our 6 drivers on the lead lap have been to pit road, fueled up, and should be going to the end of the race.
I mean, McRae might be able to run down. Maybe Nixon. I don't know. He's still pretty far back. Yeah, it's 4 seconds. I'd say Louis is pretty safe.
Ludi's safe. I'd be.
And
Don't
Vince
quote me on
Vachon has
that.
crashed.
Oh, another one at that bus stop area there.
And let's see, it looks like he suffered the same fate. He's entering really low for some reason. I don't know.
Looks like he's
Interesting.
trying to make that as straight as possible and just had it a little too straight. Got in those turtles and upset the car, not able to turn it, and into that tire barrier there.
Claims another victim. And hey, that's good for Sean Pointer. Puts him up in the 6th.
That was a hard hit.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to drop Vincent to 8th, it looks like. Apparently, I don't know what's going on here with McCauley, but he's in 7th. And, I mean, hey, guys, you got a top 5 literally in the bag. Don't throw it away.
Don't throw it away.
So we'll see. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, there's not a lot happening with 10 laps to go, but anything can happen.
Well, I think our closest battle is going to be for that third position with Nixon and McRae, but that's still a 4-second difference.
Yeah. You excited for the Cup race, Miss Weeks?
Yes, very excited for the cup race. I know there was a mention of some paint scheme, looking at someone's paint scheme in the chat earlier, and I'm going to say there's going to be a brilliant, absolutely brilliant new paint scheme that's going to debut Wednesday night.
Now, I don't know if there are any exile drivers right now in ARCA or Truck. Are there?
There's a couple.
There's a couple,
Wait,
yes.
Farnan, I think. Um, in Truck.
Bobby Lapierre,
I
I haven't
Truck.
Yep.
seen him up here in a minute.
Yeah, he's been kind of hit and miss. I know he had some stuff going on.
But
Justin
yeah,
Mons in ARCA.
I mean,
Yes.
how have you been liking your drivers in Truck and ARCA?
I've been, Bobby Lapierre's pretty new to league racing. We got him in the truck for, to run his first official season. Been pretty happy with his progress. Obviously, we want to keep moving forward with him and building on that program for him. Justin's been, done a couple ARCA here and there. His has really just been time constraints. He's actually racing tonight in another series. So we hope we've got some new drivers who have just recently signed on with AWG that we might be seeing in some more relentless stuff next year. We like to put a few more drivers out there just to support the league. We'll just have to see how it goes.
I'll tell you, Mons has been looking quite good in ARCA so far.
Yeah, yeah, he had a great drive the couple races he's been able to do, and I love Justin to pieces. He's a great driver and has really done a great job with AWG, and he's racing Sim 800 tonight. He actually debuted a new paint scheme. We've got lots of new paint schemes coming out, man. Lots of stuff going on with our XL guys here. We've got Le Mans coming up that we're getting ready to run in. So lots of things, lots of racing going on.
Like in R Factor 2.
Yeah, so they're racing Le Mans. They're practicing that all this week. Been practicing for a couple weeks now. So we'll be running the Le Mans 24-hour. And then we've got guys who will be running the Indy 6. So we've gotten a lot of endurance stuff going on top of all the NASCAR related racing.
Got to drag Bobby in there once to do an endurance race.
Yeah,
Him and
Bobby
Zach
was
would be a
supposed
good
to.
team.
Yeah, Bobby had plans to run Le Mans, but things kind of broke apart on that. Isaac is going to be running Le Mans though.
Really?
So yes, we're excited to have him join us and play in Le Mans. He actually did some spa with us as well. We had something happen at the last minute, needed a driver. Isaac filled in for us, and he might be hooked now with our team. So
How about that? How did you guys
excited to
do at
have
Spa?
him at Spa.
Yeah.
At Spa, we ended up finishing eighth. We had some issues overnight. Probably had a top five finish if those hadn't happened. But you know what? A top 10. That's our first year competing in these endurance races. I'll take that all day long. The guys did great. We just ran into a lot of weather issues overnight.
Yeah, that pesky weather sometimes, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, when you start having a lot of puddles on the road, it makes driving a little more fun.
And I just wait until we get running tires for these things.
Oh man. Whew.
It's going to come eventually. I know for next
Sure.
update, they're doing TCR and they're doing the Ford um, F500 or 5000. I don't know what it is. And then they're doing the Renault Clio. So they're getting production car challenge and TCR done. And yeah, they're getting a lot of the road stuff done. I know that they still have quite a few road cars to get those wet weather tires on, but yeah, I think that NASCAR, I mean, being the, you know, working with iRacing, one of the closest series that does work with iRacing, you gotta
Sure.
think that those wet weather tires are coming soon.
Well, I think NASCAR is still playing around with them, so they won't come to iRacing until NASCAR has a set, you know,
That they
I guess,
truly like.
yeah, that they're,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say rule, but, guidance on, because they're only running them at short tracks right now.
It is kind of
Sure.
frustrating, like, you know, sometimes watching the races when it rains, like it's just like just put the dang tires on and get out there.
That's right. That's
I
right.
mean, I'm sure there's more variables involved. Goodyear has, says what they feel like they're actually capable of versus, if it's too wet, it's not going to work. If it's there's so many variables. It's
Oh,
new, so
sure.
it'll take time for them to figure out what's best for the cars, and once they get that all settled, then we'll probably see it in iRacing. But I don't expect that anytime soon.
Yeah. And I mean, it is totally different taking one of those vehicles versus, a NASCAR vehicle and just throwing some rain tires on it and saying, go at it. So,
Well, I know a lot of people in our Discord have been getting into dirt road, and I know there's new dirt road content coming, and I know that hopefully that might be getting weathered soon as well sometime.
Well,
yeah,
and
yeah. It would be interesting to see. I am definitely from a rally background. I did some rallycross racing. I love rally cars. Um, if they bring some rally racing, some good rally racing to iRacing, and that might be my next team with the AWG group.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if now I'm drawing a blank on this. Um, what is Pastrana's league called? I forget.
Nitro
Oh,
Circus.
the
Nitro
rally, yeah,
Cross, yeah.
no, the rally,
Would not be
yeah,
surprised if
rally.
Nitro Cross will eventually come in because I know they were working with Red Bull a while back.
Yeah,
And
I would love to see that.
now I know with Nitro Cross, some of their circuits are dirt only.
Yeah.
So, I want to know this. You know, why can't we put a rallycross car in the official series on a track like Crandon or on a track like Wild West or Bark River or even Firebird? Like, why can't we do that? I'd like to put a rallycross car on there just to, just make a nice setup for it. I'm pretty sure there's someone skilled enough to do that, and could have a lot of fun with that.
I mean, it sounds like a great idea to me.
There was one series that I run with that did that once, but I would have ran that race if I didn't have to commentate that day. Looked like a lot of fun. All right, 3 laps to go.
3 to go.
And it's been pretty much a dominant performance. I mean, can't really say much else.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of just been in the zone and really hasn't made any mistakes and just kind of driven off from the people that have had made mistakes.
Yeah, about 2.5 to go. Tomorrow we'll have trucks. We're gonna be at Iowa tomorrow, so that should be a lot of fun. Wednesday we'll be back here at Charlotte in the Cup car, and believe that they're running Watkins Glen for ARCA on Thursday, so that should be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Iowa tomorrow night. Iowa trucks. Iowa always puts on good racing. I'm looking forward to watching that one.
I'll tell you one thing. It's gonna race a whole lot different than it did before. Um, anything that you've seen about Iowa with the trucks maybe a season or two ago, it should race different. Personally, like I know what to expect with Iowa, and it's going to be interesting.
Well, Iowa's one of those tracks that just has character, right? It's got bumps. You got to drive it. You got to avoid the bumps as best you can to keep your speed up. It's just one of those tracks that always puts on good good racing, just like Auto Club. Bumps just adds to the experience.
Yep. And Nixon has increased his lead over McRae. The same is done for Ludi with Nixon. Dewsbury increasing as well. So 2 to go. And we'll be seeing the white flag this time, one more time around. For Spencer Dewsbury, he'll be in the final 4 as long as he can just bring it around one more time.
I feel like with that much of a gap, he could pretty much run this last lap at half throttle and still make it. So,
Right. Yeah.
For a second, I thought he was pulling a Boucher when he won in the Truck Series at Watkins Glen, where he's drifting the whole time around.
I think he's channeling his inner Shane Van Gisbergen and definitely kicking that car around.
If he wrecks, I am going to give him.
Oh yeah.
You can look fancy all you want. Don't bend the car, because if you bend the car, you'll look like an idiot. At least he's smart enough not to screw around there. All right. One more turn, and Dewsbury will sweep the road courses. And he is in the final 4. Spencer Dewsbury will win at Charlotte. Now you can do your drifting, bud. There you go. Saved it.
What a
That's good.
dominant race.
Pretty much led all the laps except for a couple under caution. And a few of the pit stop laps. Evan Ludi gonna come around to get himself a respectable second place. And Nathan Nixon will round out the top 3. McRae coming into the chicane, and he'll get 4th. Bill Moore will get 5th, and Sean Pointer, the last car on the track, and 2 laps down, will get 6th. All right, well, I think it's time to get our people. You know, Miss Weeks, you're the guest. How about you interview the winner?
Ready for
We're just gonna wait and give them all a moment to we're just gonna wait and give them a moment to come up in the chat. Donuts for Spencer. I'll take Nixon. You take Ludi, Tony.
Okay.
Nathan Nixon, how you doing, bud?
Oh, pretty good. Trying to get some feeling back in my left foot.
Well, overall, I mean, no one was going to catch Ludi tonight, but you ran a good race. You started near last and got the most positions for the P3 and the extra point for gaining the most positions. I mean, tell us about your race. You passed a lot of cars today, more than anyone else.
It was fun. I actually put not a lot of practice, but the little bit I did earlier today, it was the wrong bus stop, so that didn't really do me much good. So
Surprised you on the
I'll
first
take
time,
a
huh?
third. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought I looked right. I know I had the setup right, but the track was definitely not. So that that was some adjusting when I got in this session. So I'll take third. I knew I probably wasn't going to have anything for Spencer. And then when I started seeing when Schaefer started pushing it, and I saw what happened to him, I'm like, third isn't going to be that bad. Gives me a fighting shot come next week.
All right. Well, hey, good run for you tonight. Nice to see you after seeing you all through ARCA last season. Let's see if you can make it to the Final Four. What do you got for shoutouts?
I'm going to give it my best. Ancient World, Talesman, as usual, you guys for the great broadcast. I can't wait to watch it. Well, at least the parts of me. And as always, my wife for letting me race.
All right. Good job tonight. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right. Next, we're going to get. We'll get Evan Moody.
Evan,
Tony.
got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on, boys?
Hey, man, another great run for you. You and your teammate bringing home the 1-2. I imagine your team owner is pretty happy. Talk us through your race tonight.
Oh man, we're psyched. There wasn't a lot of people in it, but it was more mental than physical. I mean, you mess up a corner or something. I mean, next corner's coming up in a second and a half, so you gotta hop right back into it. Managing the tires, of course, you don't want to slide them, but just a heck of a run for SVR, especially last week with everything that went on, costing Spencer a win. For him to come back here and put down a butt whipping, just really fun to watch. But just really fun race. We needed that. Put us in position for Auto Club and then more importantly Chicago. So
Yeah, man. Seems like the SVR guys have definitely worked on their road course craft. You guys have been up here quite a bit in the road courses, pretty much all the races, man. But yeah, good run tonight.
yeah.
Look good out there. So I gotta ask. It seemed like everybody was having issues for the most part in that first chicane.
Oh man, there's a chicane monster there that come up and grab your tires. When I was practicing, you could hit that. If you hit it right, you can go about 130 miles per hour through it, and I'm talking just fly. I mean, it takes a second off your lap, but it's just so sketchy. I mean, so sketchy. You backed it down. When you want to push it, tonight I was going like 115, 120, but after I got a little bit of a lead, knocked that down to like 105 ish because it's just dangerous. I mean, it's just so random. You don't know what your tires are gonna do. You don't know when they're gonna catch, if they're gonna catch. Chicane Monster was grabbing everybody tonight. So
Well, man, looked like if you did make any mistakes, we didn't see them. So it looked like you backing it off worked for you. Brought you home with a P2 finish.
yeah,
You've been up here before, man. You know the routine. Shout out to yours.
yes sir. Of course, Greg holding all the SVR together. Kevin Stein, Bill Peters, who was on the box tonight for us. Really, all of SVR makes this 28 car go fast every week. And shout out my older brother too. He watches all the races on Twitch for you guys. So, but thanks for you guys, everything you guys do, and Ancient World Gaming, and hopefully we put on a decent show even with the limited turnout. So.
All right, man. Well, you have a good night, and we will see you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good night. All right, time for Spencer Dewsbury. Go at it. Miss Weeks.
Hello. That was
Hey, Spencer. What an awesome race. Tell us how that went about. That was pretty dominating on your part.
Yeah, I had spent quite a bit of time practicing for this, but it really wasn't even that necessary because the Roval doesn't really have a rhythm to it. It's very odd and unusual. I drove it like a rally course, which is why you see me throwing the car into the corner so aggressively. I'm putting that pressure on the fronts because I have my brake bias dialed all the way back, and I'm just riding that razor's edge and letting the car dance. I'm not trying to make the car do what I want it to do. I'm letting the car do what it does, do what it wants to do, and I'm just giving it little suggestions here and there. And it's just, I wasn't trying to, in a traditional sense on a road course, you have to set up for the corner, brake, turn, enter, all like that. The Roval, you can't do that. Especially on sector 2, you can't do that. You have to just let the car roll with the punches. And it's a very unusual style if you're not used to it. Thankfully, though, I most certainly am.
Oh, and I think we saw that a lot tonight too. Those the chicanes were giving people a lot of headache, and they were either sliding into them or sliding out of them. But you seem to handle them just fine.
Yeah, I will say the stock brake bias setting is a handicap for the bus stop and the chicane to the point that I ran a 60% brake bias tonight. And I'm not afraid to admit that because we're not going back to the Roval for a while. With the 65% brake bias, the front gets tight and you just can't dive into it at the speeds that I was able to. Now, running 60% brake bias everywhere else on the course is hell to the point that I am drenched in sweat from head to toe.
Oh
But
my goodness.
if you can control it, which I was barely able to, you can go really, really fast.
Why not just run a 63 and then just knock it down once you get on the straightaway?
Honestly, I thought about that, but it was too much of a headache. I already had too much going on as it was. So I figured, and it is actually slightly faster in the other sections as well, if you can control it. So I thought about that, but it was an
until,
extra step that I didn't want to have to throw in the mix.
until the time you forget to do it.
Exactly, yes. And then all of a sudden I try to enter the bus stop and I'm plowing tight. And that actually happened once or twice. I think it happened twice. I actually hit the turtles on the left of the bus stop because I had my bias for the race at 61, 62 actually, because it's a bit more stable, it's a bit easier to drive, and I had the pace anyway. So there was no point in running the riskier 60. If I had someone chasing me down, then by all means, yeah, I would have been maybe even 59, 58. But I had no reason to. So I actually had to dial back my entry speed a bit because I was getting tight and hitting the turtles, which luckily didn't kill my car because the turtles like to do that.
They do, they do. Well, you didn't make it look like you were sweating that hard out there. You made it look
Oh
pretty
no, I was
easy.
working it. I was working it really hard to go to maintain that pace. But hey, I came here with a point to prove because
Yeah.
I don't feel like my race at Homestead went as good as it could have. I wanted to not necessarily send a message, but show, hey, I'm here to fight. I'm going for that cup.
All right. What do you got for shoutouts,
Well,
bud?
Honestly, I want to shout out Evan Ludy, my guy who finished second. I did some coaching with him before the Roval race, and it paid off in spades. I didn't even really give him that many pointers, but whatever we did, it worked because he was incredibly fast. Super proud of him. Shout out to my guys, Carrier Strike Group 8, our DCS group that flies every Saturday night. DCS Eagle Dynamics, VF11, Saltwater Hot Tub Conversions, and Hang 10 TV, the family businesses. I will see you guys next week at Auto Club, which is historically one of my best tracks. So we'll see what I can do.
well,
All right.
congratulations again on that dominating win.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Well, that's going to be all for the broadcast tonight. Miss Weeks, to stick around for a moment after the live. All right.
Mhm.
All right. Final scoring tonight. We got Dewsbury. He is going to be the first driver that we know of that is going to be in the final four. I'm going to check really quick to see if the points were updated. They were not, so hopefully that'll happen soon. Ludy's going to be second, Nixon third, McRae fourth, Moore fifth, Pointer sixth, McCauley seventh, Vachant eighth, Schaefer ninth, Banks 10th, Hastings 11th, Gordon 12th. Hopefully the points will get updated soon, but we can assume that Ludy and Nixon should be in a good place. Banks is going to have some work to do. Collier is going to have the work to do with that drop week he took. Couple other guys. I mean, it's not going to be that bad of a gap, but it's still a gap, and every single point matters. Especially, we've seen guys miss out on very few points. That'll be all tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for truck racing at Iowa with Isaac. Thank you to Tony and Miss Weeks for hopping in and making it a fun broadcast. And thanks for the sponsor tonight, Miss Weeks, and
Absolutely.
hopefully it'll be another good race for the Charlotte race and the Cup that you're going to be sponsoring. So hopefully that race will go good as well. So good luck in that, Tony. Good night, everybody. This is Southern Broadcaster Race Network. We will see you tomorrow at Iowa. Goodbye, everybody.